Well, good morning. As everybody knows, it's been a difficult week for everyone impacted by the gas explosions in Greater Lawrence last Thursday. This tragic event has created incredible hardship and immeasurable sadness for the families who've lost their homes and for those injured in the explosions. And for the family of Leo Rondon, they lost a wonderful young man. While the road to recovery is long, the team has made progress over the past 7 days to build a recovery framework, devise next steps, and to begin rebuilding our communities. They say sometimes it takes an army, and in this difficult situation, that couldn't be more true. The night of the explosions, our dedicated first responders dropped whatever they were doing and rushed to the scene of dozens of fires and explosions. The mobile command center was stood up in Lawrence and supported by first responders, utility companies, federal officials, and members from my administration and the impacted communities. Last Friday, I ordered a state of emergency to designate Eversource as the lead project coordinator for Phase 1 restoration and recovery efforts. And I'd like to thank the men and women from all the utility companies, including Eversource and National Grid, for their outstanding execution and for stepping up to help Columbia Gas and the people of the Commonwealth. Last weekend, they worked around the clock to inspect 8,527 gas meters to make sure homes and businesses were safe. And since day one of this tragedy, the call to action was answered by state agencies, nonprofits, Columbia Gas, multiple utilities, first responders from Massachusetts and southern New Hampshire, and the good people of the Commonwealth. And together they delivered resources, food, shelter, and support to those who needed it. On Sunday, we got people back in their homes and turned on their electricity. On Monday, we announced the establishment of the Greater Lawrence Disaster Relief Fund to support humanitarian efforts in the short term, ranging from housing to sustenance. We were grateful to receive a generous $10 million donation from Columbia Gas. I've also sat down with the business communities in Andover and North Andover and plan to do the same with the business community in Lawrence next week to hear the individual concerns and needs from businesses ranging from restaurants to family daycare providers. Now the work to safely restore gas service is underway. The folks managing that effort will detail this massive undertaking in a moment. Coordination and communication is critical to this project's success. And to navigate the next steps of the recovery process as efficiently as possible, I've used the executive authority I have to instruct the Department of Utilities to require Columbia Gas to hire an outside contractor to lead the next 2 phases. As a result, Columbia Gas has brought on Navy Captain Joe Albanese to be the Chief Recovery Officer for these 2 phases. Joe Albanese spent 25 years in military service with the Naval Construction Force, retiring as a captain in the United States Navy Civil Engineer Corps. Most recently, he led more than 2,000 Navy Seabees in contingency operations and more than 2,000 Seabees throughout the Middle East in 2007. In 2002, Joe founded Commodore Construction, a very successful construction and development firm here in the Commonwealth. He has deep ties and strong roots in Massachusetts, working at the executive level at a number of local construction firms and serving on the advisory board of UMass Lowell's College of Engineering as past chairman of Associated General Contractors of Massachusetts and as the current chairman of the board of directors for the New England Center for Homeless Veterans. Serving as the Chief Recovery Officer, he will be responsible for command control and communications. And he will be assisted by Rear Admiral Richard E. Sellon. First of all, Joe, I want to thank you for stepping up on behalf of the people of Merrimack Valley and the Commonwealth. Happening at the same time as the restoration work takes place, the team is also mobilizing an immediate plan to deliver short-term relief. Today, we're here to announce Phase 2 and 3, including important initiatives to help address short-term needs. First, starting tomorrow, the team will launch a mitigation operation to provide all 3 communities with electric cooking appliances or hot plates so people can have a hot meal at home. Each community will distribute them differently, and our local officials will speak to that in a minute. Second, starting Monday, the teams will start the process of installing space heaters into those homes that can safely support these appliances. Local fire departments will be part of this process. On Wednesday, September 26th, the team will begin the process of assessing the damage in impacted residents and workplaces. This assessment will be completed by teams of plumbers, electricians, guardsmen, translators, and assessors to determine what appliances need to be replaced. These workers will also inspect homes to begin the necessary repairs to make them safe for eventual gas service restoration. Each community has been at the table with us over the past several days to work on this plan in order to make sure it works for their specific needs in each step of this process. I will soon welcome Mayor Rivera, Town Manager Mailer, and Town Manager Flanagan to the podium to explain what will take place in each of their communities. This will be a coordinated effort that starts on Saturday and continues over the next several weeks. It will take hundreds and probably thousands of people, including utility teams, plumbers, electricians, first responders, language translators, and other experts to quickly fan out across our communities to serve the approximately 8,600 households and businesses impacted by these explosions. To help assist this massive effort, I've activated the National Guard to deliver hot plates and provide support and resources to the assessment teams as they do their work. Starting tomorrow, residents should expect to see these teams in their communities for the next several weeks. Residents should note that when teams arrive at your homes, they'll have an identification card that looks like this: a white badge stating that they are an authorized visitor for Columbia Gas of Massachusetts. If you have any questions or concerns about the teams arriving at your home, please call the affected customer helpline at 866-388-3239. As mentioned, every community will have a different rollout plan. But on Saturday and Sunday in Lawrence, hot plates will be delivered door to door. These appliances will be made available for pickup at the Columbia Gas Claim Centers in Andover and North Andover. Starting Monday, 24,000 space heaters will arrive in Merrimack Valley and will be installed in homes that have been rendered safe by a certified electrician and local fire departments. This will require a short in-home assessment from an electrician to ensure that the home can safely support a space heater. Language translators will also be available. Because every residence and structure is unique, the team working on additional options for places where a space heater is not safe to install, including alternative housing or heat sources, will be pursued and developed. Now, starting Wednesday, groups of workers will be deployed to impacted residents and businesses to do the full top-to-bottom assessment that needs to be done in each of these dwellings. This means checking all appliances, circuits, and systems to determine what needs to be replaced and when a home is ready to have gas service restored safely. Residents will receive a communication from Columbia Gas prior to their assessment so they can plan to be home. Everyone's top priority is safety. The team has devised a plan to meet all levels of safety and is intended to quickly and efficiently complete each step. Now, while the short-term mitigation plan, which I refer to as the stuff that goes on inside the walls of the house, is underway and assessments are being done, Columbia Gas has mapped out a construction process to rebuild and replace the gas pipeline that was impacted by this event. I'm next going to ask Joe Albanese, who has spearheaded this plan with Columbia, to the podium to explain in more detail. But as Joe will explain, there's a long-term construction plan in the works to repair the pipeline that has impacted approximately 8,600 dwellings and meters and 48 miles of pipeline. While there is a long timeline on that, Joe's team is in the process of evaluating each mile of pipeline to determine the replacement approach and to identify other opportunities in the system where service can be safely hooked up in a few weeks. At this point, the team believes that approximately 2,000 meters on the impacted gas line can be brought back to full service in the next few weeks. In fact, one of these projects is already underway in Lawrence. As I said, we all share the same goal, which is to get people back to their normal daily life. Whether it's a hot shower, a home-cooked meal, or the ability to open up a business, we're bringing every available resource to make this happen. Due to the incredible circumstances and complexity of last week's events, the road to recovery will take time. But on behalf of all of us, I want to thank everyone for their patience. I personally have spent a great deal of time in Greater Lawrence since the explosions and have seen firsthand the difficult and emotional time this is for everyone involved. But that said, I've also been stunned, amazed, and gratified by the outreach, the generosity, and the genuine kindness that the folks in these communities have shown one another and that folks across the Commonwealth have stepped up and delivered. People have donated food, money, time, effort, energy, whatever it takes. And I think that speaks to the fact that we are a resilient community, and I do want to thank everyone for their work to date. There is much left to do, and we expect and anticipate that we will continue to have the kind of goodwill we've seen so far as we go forward.